Nocturnal Animals is a psychological thriller film directed by Tom Ford and stars Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal. And right off the bat, I'm just going to get into what impressed me the most and some of the good stuff in the film because, yeah, I had a mixed feeling towards this film. But I'll get into the good stuff first. This film is well shot, well structured, has great performances, great music, and a pretty interesting idea as well. The stuff that this film executes well is all the technical stuff, because there are points in this film where some scenes are just so incredibly shot. Every frame of this film has a sense of grit and darkness to it that really works to this film's advantage. The music, I would say, is on the border of sounding like something you would hear from a Hitchcock film, because the music you hear in this film is very string-based music. The performances are great. Amy Adams gives a good job, Jake Gyllenhaal gives an amazing job, and unfortunately that's all the good stuff, because this film was... I can't describe it, because just like something right off the bat was bothering me. And let me make it clear, this is not a terrible movie. Like I said, all the good stuff that I just mentioned is the best part of this film. It's just everything else just wasn't that great. But something about the story that did bother me was it was a story within a story. The entire story of this film is basically about Amy Adams. She receives a novel by her ex-husband, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and when she starts reading the novel, the film does a clever way of going into the book and then showing us visually of what's going on. And I like that, but just, I hate how, and I'm not even kidding, the entire film with Amy Adams in it is her just reading this book, and that's it. In fact, why wasn't the entire film focused on Jake Gyllenhaal's story? Because here's the biggest problem with Nocturnal Animals. There's no point to it. Like the scenes with Amy Adams serve no point. Like the story in the book itself could be the film itself. However, they exit the book and focus on just random stuff that Amy Adams is doing. But the entirety of the film with Amy Adams is just her reading the book. And like, that's it. Like, what is the point of this? And there are about a half a dozen plot threads that just absolutely serve no point. Like Amy Adams' character's current husband who is clearly cheating on her, like, that goes nowhere. Like, we don't see how that story thread ends. In fact, a lot of other story threads that are brought up in this film have no closure, and they just lead on into nothing. And the ending just pissed me off. And like, this film was based off a book, and if this is how the book ended, that's fine, but I saw this film with a group of people, and when the ending happened, oh, how many people were pissed. I mean, the entire cinema was pissed. And like, in fact, once the credits started rolling, I just heard someone out of nowhere just say, "Is that it?" And after I saw this film, I thought about this film a lot, and it started to bother me. And like, all the things I liked about it, I still like, but just, I started to think about everything else in the film, and it did bother me. Like, the film leads to nowhere. It concludes up to nothing. Overall, this is not a bad movie. It does things well. Like, it visually looks stunning, it's well shot, so I would still recommend it. But for all the negative stuff I said about this film, there are some pretty good stuff. Like I said, this film nails all the technical aspects of this film very well. And I'm gonna give Nocturnal Animals a 6 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, be sure to like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my channel below. As always, I'm NETX5. Thank you so much for watching.